Hey, I've organized all my playlists on this channel so that you're able to easily find different types of shoes, different brands of shoes, as well as finding all my shoe battles, worth the price shoe reviews, etc., all in one place. Enjoy. Welcome. This is Wisconsin Shoe Guy, and today I have an unboxing. I recorded the unboxing a couple times, had some challenges with it, so I just thought I'd try again. You'll notice a couple things on here that are different, but here we go. I got these Allen Edmonds. They are factory seconds. Factory seconds in shell Cordovan. And this is a style that they don't stock. And so if you find factory seconds on them, they can be really nice. I have a great relationship with several sales reps at Allen Edmonds, and they're able to look out for deals for me. And they also will inspect the shoes for me to make sure that they're in great shape. So find a salesperson that you like there, and you can find some fantastic deals. These are shell Cordovan Bradleys, very similar to the shoe that I just sold. And I had these same color before, but they were an 11.5E, and I moved down to an 11D. And so I did this. Now, the ones that I sold were first quality and were originally $695. I bought these, they're second quality, and we'll talk about what that could be. And these were $499, but they were 25, or actually they were $399, and they were 25% off. So smoking hot deal. So now it's shell Cordovan. So just if you're new to the channel or you don't know what shell Cordovan is the membrane under a horse rump. These are size 11 shoes. These require one whole shell for a pair of shoes. Shells are about yay big. They're not very big. It's a lot more expensive because horse membranes they take 6-7 months to tan. And there are a lot less horses in the leather industry than there are cows, since we're not primarily eating horse meat, and so it's just in lesser supply. That's why it's expensive. So, but as we look at this, there's a lot of variation, and this is the thing I like about shell, but I know some people really don't like it, is that there's variation between the pieces of leather and the color. So you see this piece is really dark burgundy, this piece is really dark burgundy, this is more of a red. Then as you look here, and you can see the color differentiates depending on the angle in the light as well. And then when it's in the sun, it's even different. Now, what I did with my old pair of shell Cordovan is I actually put them in the sun for a few days. I mean, I did it for like 4 or 5 days in a row. I also had just kind of left them in the window for about 3 months. So they got a lot of sun, and that really lightened them up a lot. And so I have some before and after pictures that I've posted on Facebook, which I'm happy to share. And I think that that's a kind of a cool thing. So for these, I'm interested to see kind of how they go. Now, in terms of why this is a factory second, there may be a little piece there where it is wrinkled. That's probably not it. I don't see anything on the welt area. That's bad. Allen Edmonds on their shell Cordovan uses JR soles, which are generally an upcharge. So like on a Meermin, if you're upgrading to JR soles on like a custom thing, it's a $30 upcharge. Same with the TLB, it's just 30 euros. So there's a more expensive, harder wearing sole. This is a double oak bark tanned sole, and good. Some people will say that it's because of the stitching, although candidly, I think that that's pretty common stitch quality for Allen Edmonds. They just had the tension turned up too high. And you can see here, they went too far into the sole here instead of staying on the edge. But that's just not that uncommon, and it's relatively clean, even though it's not very deep. So I don't see anything on this shoe as to why that they are seconds. Here's the other one. And you can see leather on this one is a little bit more uniform. But again, you get some nice variation. Sole, again, pretty good shape. So again, I don't see anything. And again, I had people look out for me and look at them and say, hey, is there anything wrong? And you know, they didn't. So let's do some of the harder tests. Okay. So the soles, the heels seem like they're up a little bit, so they're angled weird. That's, I don't know if that's within tolerance. Normally when I do this with a pair of shoes, the soles up here actually hit if I've got the heels flat. So and candidly, if that's the reason why they're seconds, then I got extremely lucky. Looking here, I don't see anything that doesn't look like it's off angle, doesn't look like it's asymmetric. I look at them that way, they look fine. There's a little bit more toe pop than I would necessarily want, but that's, again, that's something that, you know, as I wear the shoes, I think that'll change a little bit. So if we look at the alignment on the laces, you know, are they lined up right? Looks like they are. They're, as Allen Edmonds all are, the laces are very close to the edge. Here, actually, hold on. Let me pull these tighter. Maybe this one and this one are off a little bit more. I mean, they do measure this stuff to see whether it's out of alignment, but I don't think so. But you know, I'm tightening it up to get a better look. That's pretty darn close. The way they do this when they're in the factory, and I was lucky enough to go on a factory tour with their operations manager, Jimmy, who actually walked us through the process, right? They measure things like alignment and stuff like that. And if it's within a millimeter or so, then it's not a big deal. If it's more than 2.5 millimeters or something like that, then that would qualify as a factory second. They're very, very methodical about it. They're very, very careful about it. I know that online forums are full of people who've had terrible experiences. And my theory on this is, and again, this is my theory, I don't have any facts behind it whatsoever, okay? But I expect, based on the revenue numbers of how much Caleres bought Allen Edmonds for, that they put out, you know, 250,000 shoes a year or more. And I think if you add up all of these terrible, terrible stories that are out there, you're probably talking about maybe 100, maybe 200 a year. So you start looking at that and you look at it in terms of math. Okay, so if they've got like a 0.3 or 0.4% quality issue, it's not really that bad. I mean, it's bad, but it's not really that bad, right? So maybe it's just not an issue, and maybe people are overreacting, or, you know, I certainly would overreact if a bad thing happened to me, right? And I think we all would. So I don't want to take anything away from the people who've had bad experience. I want to be clear about that. But I've not had bad experience. So again, I'm just looking at these. I mean, if I look at these welt joins here, okay, and this is the thing I think most people complain about the most. I can't see the welt join. Okay. And it's not like it's somewhere else. It's just invisible, which means they did it right, right? Looking at it here. Okay, again. So I'm thrilled. I feel like I got a fantastic deal on these. I feel like they're a great replacement for the ones that I was forced to sell because they were too big. And I feel like I still have one of my favorite shoes in my collection back. And I thought that I had taken the trees or left the trees in them when I put them back in the box, but I did not. So I'm very happy. Now, when you are looking at boxes, just for an informational purpose, if you're looking at the box and you get a shoe box and it says F2, that means it's a factory second. Okay. Now, so that means that it did not pass quality inspection. When you're on the used shoe market, it'll have a little imprint of a shoe like this. That's how you know it's a factory second. I don't think that you have to say when you're selling shoes that they're factory seconds unless they're new, right? I think if you put the shoes up and people can't tell, then it doesn't matter. Maybe you disagree. I'm interested in your feedback on this. You know, a lot of people sell used shoes. A lot of people buy used shoes and resell them. They wouldn't necessarily know. And a lot of people put pictures of the whole shoe up there so that you can easily see it. So again, I'm interested in your feedback on this. I don't sell a lot of shoes, but I've sold shoes recently, as you can tell from my videos. I'm interested in your feedback. If I should have said so when they were factory first, I should probably say so. If I'm supposed to say when they're factory seconds, I certainly wish that I did. I just I don't feel like you know, based on my experience with Alden Edmonds, that I mean, it's never come up. So anyway, thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch the video, and I'm anxious for your feedback. Let me know what you think.